How's that? Yeah.
I don't think it's doing the
I
intro.
was going to say, do we got
I don't know what. I can't remember.
I don't think we've got the jingle.
Oh well, we're live. Hi,
Hey,
welcome to the Chairsofter Show, episode 148. It's going to completely go off the rails tonight because Andy's not here; he can't make it. So yeah, we're left.
We've been left in charge.
Yeah,
We
And
take no
I-
accountability for anything that happens tonight.
and
It's
I've
all
already
Andy's fault
broken
here.
it because I can't remember how to play the little tune at the beginning. Absolutely not a clue.
Let's just sing it. Do, 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 do,
Just
do,
download the
do,
Muppets.
do, do.
Yeah.
Everybody just pretend that everything went smoothly there and the intro's
Yeah.
happened. Okay.
Yeah, the intro's happened. We're in.
Yeah,
Hello.
there we go.
So tonight we've got Steph, also known as Callsign Wheels. So give us a little a short little snapshot of you, sort of how long you've been playing, that kind of thing. We'll get into the questions.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in and around Airsoft now about 15 years, give or take. Started off through trade. Had a shop in York and I met a few Airsofters. Never heard of it, to be honest, before that. And then I started playing. We were in a team and that went pear-shaped, like a lot of teams do and stuff like that over years and what have you. Carried on playing and then I left for a while. And just life takes over as it does with a lot of us and everything like that. And then still sort of like kept my fingers in it, trading and stuff like that and on the chat groups and whatnot. And then a few years ago, discovered I had a tumour in my spinal cord. It was causing me a few issues over the years, 20 odd years, typical bloke, just crack on, don't you? And eventually I had that taken out back in July 2020. And then eventually after I left hospital, because having that taken out unfortunately rendered me in a wheelchair. They said I'd never probably walk again and such likes. And so after I left in September 2020, went back home, beginning of October it was actually. I thought, what can I do basically to support myself and whatnot. And so I got in touch with a few airsoft sites, mainly Halo Mill, Proving Grounds, the YPC site. Out there was one in Halo Mill, Proving Grounds, and their own weekend 6mm Airsoft Club. And a couple of other sites. At the time, there was Camp Sparta at Curtin Lindsay and a few other sites, just to basically go down with a stall. And I started up doing like tombolas, like raffle sort of things, to raise money to help pay for physiotherapy and to buy better wheelchair equipment and such likes. But also on the back of that, what I also decided to do was do some reviews of some sites that I visit of accessibility based on my own experience. And so it's just grown from there, really. And so when I go to sites, not only do I do my stall and anything like that, I also I don't do reviews on how good games are or anything like that. I'm not interested in anything like that. I leave that to other people. There's plenty of people on Facebook that do all that and all their own opinions. It's purely about accessibility for those with disabilities, not just those that use wheelchairs like me. I mean, I can use crutches as well sometimes and whatnot, but only for small distances. But accessibility to toilets, accessibility to safe zone, accessibility into the actual gaming zones, like places like I've been to HQ at Driftfield. Most of that site I could get access to, apart from half of the buildings I can't, because obviously steps and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm using my wheelchair, but that doesn't mean other disabled players that, because disabilities cover a wide range of things.
So, absolutely, yeah.
So it's not just about wheelchair users; it's about any sort of disability. It could be learning disability, it could be some sort of mental disability, anything like that. And so I've done that to try and encourage more disabled players to get involved into airsoft because
And
it's
do you find
helped
you've
me.
had good interaction with that?
Yeah, I have. To be fair, I get a lot of support from a lot of sites and airsoft groups such as UCal Ladies, yourselves, Warzone, Halo Mill Proving Grounds. I've had a lot of access, and I've had people get in touch with me who are disabled, and asking advice about how to get into it. And obviously, the first port of call is to say, get in touch with your local site, have a word with them, because sites will bend over backwards to help anyone get involved.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it isn't about me trying to change airsoft, trying to get sites to make them accessible, because in the day, a woodland don't come with a set of ramps.
No,
You know what I mean?
no.
I adapt to the site as best as I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't go there thinking with, I'm a wheelchair and that's it. And like, you've got to do this, you've got to do it. It's not nothing like that. It's how accessible it is now.
Yeah.
And it's like a site, what is it, No Man's Land. They've actually got a purpose-built toilet block, which is wheelchair accessible.
That's
So
awesome. That's good.
it is a bit of a steep ramp, but with help, you can wheel up there, and and you can do that there. And there's one or two other sites that do go out the way to help other people with disabilities. They've run wheelchair only games and stuff like that. So it's all I always say: get in touch with the site. Where's local to you? Find out about them. They will tell you where they think is accessible. They'll invite you
Yeah.
out just to come have a look. And
'Cause it's a very personal thing as well, isn't it? So it
yeah,
differs so greatly from person to person. Like what works for one person might not work for somebody else,
Mhm.
etc. So it's about finding what works for you at
Mm.
the end of the day, isn't it? So
No, it is exactly. It's like being down to shift your riffs, and that's virtually the whole of that ground is accessible.
mm,
Uh, Granted, some of the tracks are a bit nasty and everything like that, but if you've got someone pushing behind you, I tend to play on my own because I've got an attachment. So it's not so much of an issue for me. But other people, I've seen one guy, he goes up to Dirty Dog, who's, I think he's got brittle bone disease, and
Okay.
he's in the wheelchair. Good lad, cracking player. And he got in touch with me by someone else. And I mentioned about Dirty Dog, and he went up there. I seen him go up there, play, and he literally throws himself out of the chair, and he uses his chair as a defence.
fair
And
play.
That's like hides behind it kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's wicked.
it's people like that that inspire me.
Yeah.
But to be honest, the inspiration came to me from you've probably heard of him, Simon Tank Jameson from Southern Ireland. He's a quadriplegic, and he had a City Road Arco adapted. He had a mini that comes over the top of him, all the guarding on the front of it, and it controlled with a
Oh,
straw.
I think I have seen that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, he's absolutely amazing. I mean, I think he's retired from the game now, but it was people like that that inspired me, and I thought, well, if they can do it they literally got nothing from the neck down. There's no
Mhm.
reason why I can't.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Get
and if
that.
it helps one more person get into the game, then fantastic. Because
And that's what
mentally,
it's
The
about
more
at
the
the end of the
merrier.
day, isn't it?
exactly,
Like
yeah,
anybody can play airsoft, and it's trying to encourage those people to come in and seeing
yeah.
that other people can do it, and it's all about equality and encouraging new players at the
No,
end of the day.
exactly. And it's a great community to be involved in. You know what I mean? Like I say, mentally, being in and around airsoft, it's helped me massively because obviously being a military background as well, it's all about the community to me. And I've got my army community, and a lot of the airsofters are ex-forces as well. Anyway,
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
anyone will go out of the way to help you, regardless.
exactly.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
the
And
vast majority of people, you
yeah,
can ask them anything, and they will do their best to help you.
mm,
Obviously, you have the few that are the exception to the rule, but
yeah,
the
there is.
majority of people do want to help new players get into the sport and
Absolutely.
Yeah,
help
of
them
course I do. I mean,
grow. Yeah,
I mean, I went to what you see me at Warzone when I went for your Cal
yeah.
event down there.
We're at Warzone just weekend just gone as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Very muddy.
I'm going back down there in a few, hopefully, either next month or month after. But unfortunately, I haven't got a chance to play there yet. But their accessibility issue is getting down to it. But they will go out the way to help me get down to the playing ground. And once I'm
Mm.
down those steps, then
Yeah, that's the main bit there, isn't it? The steps, but the rest of it,
yeah, just
obviously, it
literally,
depends on different people, but once you're down those steps, especially now they've done the new what do you call it? The depot bit. Like they've
Yeah,
got ramps up to it
Yeah.
as well. So yeah, it is accessible up there as well.
Exactly. I mean, if it helps, like I say, increase the community of the airsoft world, then fantastic. You know what I mean? And it raises it up in people's eyes as well. It's not just a case of, only a certain section of people can play this. That's not what it's about.
And there's probably people out there that are disabled or have some disability that haven't actually thought, oh yeah, I can play airsoft, or I can give that a go, or have just sort of forgotten all about it, or that kind of thing.
Just immediately sort of written it off because they just thought, well, I can't do that sort of thing. So
yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm not unique. Far from it. There's people with disabilities been playing airsoft for a while. I just don't think it gets much publicity about it, to be honest. And granted, I think I could do more myself because I've been a bit quiet on that sort of score lately. But I've had my own sort of like issues going on that I need to sort out myself, personal wise, with my physical where I am at the moment. But but any publicity is that's good for the game.
Absolutely,
it's fantastic. I want to try and visit as many sites as possible throughout the country. I want to go further down south, into Kent and stuff like that. There's a few sites I want me to come down there.
Iron site would probably be a good one. That's all quite sort of
I'm just
on
thinking
one
that's
level,
all quite
isn't it?
flat, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, there's that one. I've been invited down to Imperium.
Okay, that's the one with the tanks and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, the tanks. Also been invited down to what's it called now? Another one in Kent. I can't remember what it's called now. Driverwood. That's it.
Oh yeah, we were saying we wanted to have a go at Driverwood.
Yeah, we haven't been there. Yeah,
it looks good. And there's a couple of sites that I know I've been to in the past that I won't be able to. It's like, unfortunately, there's some sites where they're more on a hill-based sort of sites. Getting access into the actual site itself, sometimes it would just prove too much to try and get up there. Not to say that other disabled people can't get into them.
It's just about knowing your limitations, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? I mean, I did one review once of Lincolnshire Airsofters at Elsham, and I go there quite often. And like I say, bear in mind, my reviews are on my experience, my personal opinion, and it's not set in gold. And unfortunately, some guy in his infinite wisdom tried to call me out and say, I'm blagging it, I'm lying because they let me come down with my stall. And I'm like,
oh, didn't you post about this relatively recently?
I won't mention his name, but quite a few people knew him and knew his gripe. And it wasn't with me; it was actually with the site itself. But that's a bit of history. But as I do say, always as a disclaimer, it is all based on my own personal experience.
It's very subjective, isn't it? Like,
of course it is.
Exactly. Everybody's got something slightly different that they might not be able to do the same things that you can.
No.
Or you might not be able to do the same things that other people can. It's very subjective. And I think players, if you are disabled and you want to get into it, like you said, I think the best thing to do would be to go and check out some of your local sites and see if they are
100%.
accessible to you, and just ask if you can go and have a look around potentially and see what you think.
Yeah, we just like I say, most sites now tend to run most weekends, so you could go down one weekend just as a visitor and just check it out and see. Because obviously, you've got to think about getting into the safe zone as well, and also toilet facilities. And
I was going to say basic things like toilets and
it's not just about the game.
Can you get in lunch if you haven't bought anything? Can you get into if they have catering on site? Can you get into there, etc.?
Yeah, because there's a lot of disabled people have different needs. Like obviously toilet needs and stuff like that. So it's like I say, more sites I've been to, because I can stand, I can walk a little bit. Accessing the toilets isn't a big issue for me, but it might be for some other people. So if they go down there, check out the site first, or they commit themselves, they might say, "Well, I can't try that one just yet. I'll try another site." There's plenty of them around. But like I say, as a whole, every site that I've ever been to will go out of the way to help me out the best they possibly can.
Yeah. So that brings us sort of nicely onto a question. So obviously, how do you find the sites that you've been to for accessibility, and is there anything that like sites, if they're listening, that they could do to help sort of make it accessible for players? Is there anything sort of? I know there's no sort of quick fix, but is there anything that they can
There's no
just do
sort of
to
quick
help
fix.
out?
No.
Yeah,
Even if it's just basics.
yeah,
I mean, the biggest, I would say the biggest thing is the toilet thing. But and a lot of these portaloos, they don't come cheap because obviously they've got to rent them, this, that, and the other. But if they manage to get like a wheelchair accessible portaloo,
yeah,
which obviously anyone can use, but you know, it's also that would be there for someone to use as well who can't get out of a wheelchair. So
yeah,
these portaloos are designed to get wheelchairs inside them and what have you. That's probably the biggest thing I would say. Like I say, most safe zones tend to be really on a flat ground anyway, and quite easily accessible into inside. Uh, I've not been to anywhere where safe zone I have been able to gain access myself because they have been flat access into them.
yeah,
Like Scarborough 101, that was in an old care home, so I could gain access into that because obviously some of them might have a bit of a lip on the doorway. But like I say, YPC, where Halo Mill play out of, that's straight in, that's not a problem. I can park right up near it, and they would let people get dropped off in wheelchairs if need be down to the bottom, and then obviously take the vehicles back up to get parked up there. No Man's Land again, it's flat, it's accessible, safe zone, it's all open area anyway. Warzone again, totally accessible. Toilets are pretty hard there. If you are wheelchair using, you can't get your wheelchair, you're not going to access the toilets there because obviously it's up a staircase. Unless you know you can get assistance from a friend or something like that. And where else have I
Yeah, I
been?
need a wee. Quick, drag me up the stairs.
Yeah. So, you know, but I would say the biggest issue is probably toilets, which
that's understandable. I mean,
you
a
just
lot of
don't.
airsoft
I've run
sites, their
sites myself.
toilets are not great anyway. I can't even imagine how it would be to
Yeah.
be disabled and think, oh god, I can't even try and go to that site, even as awesome as it looks, because of the toilet situation. You just can't, basically.
Yeah. Well, I've been there. I've run sites myself in the past. Bartray and at YPC years ago, and obviously before all this happened, and I never thought about that, to be honest. In all honesty, you know, so that is
It's
something.
something that a lot of people take for granted, doesn't it? You don't even think
Yeah.
about it on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's it in it. You know, and then in the gaming zone. At Halo Mill, I go back, it's my local site, but they've got trenches everywhere, but they've actually got bridges built. And these was actually, it wasn't built to cater for any wheelchair, it was just coincidental, but they've got bridges that are wide
Happy
enough for wheelchairs,
coincidence.
you know. You know, and I run across there. You've probably seen some of the videos in the past when I'm just bezzing, and sometimes they actually bounce like Dukes of Hazzard over the bridge.
Now that'd be cool to see. Not gonna lie.
It's simple things like that, isn't it? That obviously, like you say, it wasn't purpose built for that, but just sites, if you're planning on putting like a little bridge or a ramp or something, maybe it's wide. It's just helping to make it that little bit more accessible for people. That it's wide enough to fit a wheelchair or a scooter or whatever over it.
Yeah, I mean, I've played on because they've actually got a massive bridge. Have you ever been to Halo Mill? I don't know if
Yeah,
you've
I
No.
have.
So you know
have,
the bridge. I've actually what one of the lads do. One of the lads will carry my chair up to the top of the bridge, and then I'll hold on the side to walk up, and basically I would literally roll across up and down the side of the top of the bridge, taking shots and what have you. I upset a few people because obviously I can't feel no from the chest down. So when I get hit, I don't know I've been hit, and they're like, "Call your hits." I'm like, "Well, aim for my head."
Yeah, I've never heard anyone say that before.
I was going to say,
Aim
not
for my
many
head.
people would say that normally, would they?
That's why I do wear full face mask now.
Yeah,
I don't blame you.
You know, because a few of my mates tell everyone to aim for my head as well, just in case. But yeah, so it's as well as the toilets, a lot of the gaming zones, where possible, if they need to build a bridge or a little gangway to get across the trench area, if they could just be mindful, maybe just that a little bit wider,
Yeah.
and just and make sure the ground is level to the actual bridge, and then you could get a wheelchair across it, or
Yeah.
or a handrail. So if someone's using a crutch, or anything like that, just to grab over.
Yeah. Dan's made a good point as well. Not just the width, but the angle of the incline as well. Obviously, if you make a ramp like really steep, it's not going to be accessible for a lot of people, especially if they're using sort of manual wheelchairs, etc. If you're on your own.
Well, that's it. I mean, like I say, I've played a couple of CQBs. Like I say, before the shutdown, I went to Curtin Lindsay, Camp Sparta. I used to love playing there because they had all the trucks there and everything. I could just bez around them, and I'd have my cruise control on my little adapter, so I'll just drive around and my camera going, and
that's cool.
Like a little bit, looks like a little bit of a tank as my weapons just handing on the handlebars and driving around, just going full blast with my magazine and emptying my mags off in 10 seconds. That was good there, and like I say, HQ, Driftfield and whatnot. I'd like to do.
Why do I know that site? That's the.
We've been
to. That was where
Irene,
we went to.
we went to Defiant, yeah.
Where's that?
I like that site.
HQ.
The HQ.
Irene Defiant events we went to there, and that was really good. Yeah.
A lot of it, like I say, there I can get into a lot of places, and the ground is
just a few bits that have got like a little step up into the buildings, isn't it?
But like I say, that for me, it's that's a minor issue for me. Like I say, I can get out of my chair
as long as you can get to the majority of places.
Yeah.
Like there'd be no point going if you could only be in like one specific place, but if you can get to the majority of places on the site, then.
Exactly.
That's quite handy because it's all connected by roads and things like that.
It is. But it's the RAF, the medic quarters and what have you, the RAF base, isn't it? And a lot of sites, they give me different regen rules and whatnot. Because obviously, sometimes it's not as easy for me to go back and to regen and stuff like that. So, a lot of them say, well, just turn around, come back 10 meters and come straight back into it, or... And so they adapt.
Which is nice. That's another adaptation that people are making. Just for you, and
exactly. They say you should sit there for 10 seconds, or if I've got a fire support team with me, they'll be my medics or something like that. You know what I mean? So there's ways and means, and a lot, as I say, sites do go out the way to help out as best as they can. And they'll adapt the game, or some sites even say they'll actually build a game around me.
That's cool. That's really nice.
And make me like a sniper tower or something like that. I mean, I did get to one sniper tower at Halo Mill, and eventually, freakish. Bear in mind, I've been in and around there for 15 years, and I only used to wear glasses all the time. Never got shot in the face, or if I did, it was just here or here. And then, not long after I'd left hospital, I went and played my very first game back into Airsoft. They got me up into the sniper tower. I was stood there out on the side, and one of the players is a good lad, and bless him, freak shot, bounced off the side, went round the back of my glasses and into my eye. And it knocked me clean on my backside, and it ruined my eye. So I had to have a new eye lens put in and everything like that. So I do now advocate full face masks now. But you know what I mean. So they purposely took me out there, got me into the tower, to get me involved in the game.
That's really good. Yeah.
They wanted to do more things for me, and I thought, that was fantastic. You know what I mean? And that's what science will do for people.
Yeah.
So get in touch with them. If they need to tweak certain games, you can't always play every single game. It's always not possible depending how they are. But it's just get in touch with the site. Don't be afraid to ask them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
They won't really, because like I say, up until this happening to me, I would never think about things for wheelchair users or anything like that, or anything. So it's get in touch with them and have a good crack.
Yeah, absolutely. Daff had a good question earlier.
I was just waiting.
Just asking, do you have a preference for the type of site that's easier to play? Obviously, subjective to you, but forest, urban, CQB, anything that's. What's your preference, just in general, I suppose?
I've always liked woodland, and even now, it does come down to accessibility, but I do like the rough terrain, getting behind the natural cover, finding the natural cover to use. So where I can wheel my wheelchair into now, behind bushes or behind purpose-built barricades or anything like that. So it still is woodland. I want to try and give more CQB a chance where possible. And
a lot.
See how I'm going to.
Sites are quiet as people though. Like I saw.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was a comment about
Richard
level 2,
Cooper also
which
comes
we've
up
been
with
to, but those stairs are, like I said, they're bad enough as an able-bodied person.
It's a shame there's no lift at level 2. Those stairs are painful enough as an able-bodied player, and when you're carrying all your kit and everything, you're trying to climb up the stairs.
Yeah,
the CQB sites are upstairs or indoors, etc.
Yeah,
might make them a little bit more inaccessible.
I went to District 22 in Middlesbrough.
Okay.
They had a charity game last year, and I went up there, and it's in an old warehouse, but they've actually built some buildings up inside it, but it basically is an open plan warehouse, and they've made adaptations where possible. They built like internal houses with some ramps up and stuff like that. So for me, again, it's not undoable, but I can still play a lot of the gaming zone because it's basically an open plan with just a few barricades, built, lean-to buildings, put to and everything like that. So that's one that's quite accessible for me. I'd love to give Stanley a go. Because that's just reopened.
I want to go. I want to go back there. I played it when it was open originally. I'd love to go back and try it again. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's just reopened. I've never been there in the past, so I'd like to give. Like I say, I'm not. If it's only a case I can only play on the bottom level, I'm not upset by that because it is what it is. So
there's always going to be people to shoot at, isn't there? It's not like everybody's going to be upstairs. Or...
yeah, exactly. One place I'd love to go back to, but I don't think I'd be able to, is the goal. I think that might be.
You mean the jail? I take it.
Yeah,
in Leicester. Yeah,
jail. Yeah, I think that at Oakham that might be a bit undoable, but you never know. There's ways and means.
Just trying to think now, because that's one of our sort of regular sites.
Yeah, that's one of our sort of regular sites.
They have got down to the main bit, and you could get in. Well, obviously it's subjective. Some of the doors might be a bit narrow, I suppose, but I suppose it depends on what games they're playing as well, whether they're sort of indoor or outdoor based. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it depends on the day, doesn't it? So.
Oh, someone just mentioned home and test mine.
That
is one I want to try.
We are trying to get there also.
I really want to go there, but the only thing
does look good.
We're going down there on holiday, and somebody wants to take our kit.
I bet as well.
It's an opportunity.
It's a like 7-hour road trip for me.
Oh, so that's a bit much.
So where are you based?
Selby.
Okay, yeah.
So if I went down there, I'd have to go for a long weekend.
At least,
probably visit some old sites that I know down there and what have you, and then go on a Sunday because it's got like 2 kilometers of mines or something. But it's an old style.
I've seen videos, but
old style salt mine or something in it. So it's basically flat. As you obviously, it does lower, but it's all it is all doable. Yeah. From what I can hear, and they've got an old, they've got woodland outside, and they've got like a quarry bit as well. So but yeah, I would really love to do that.
Yes,
Brad. but yeah, that's one of I keep wanting to give that a try. Definitely 100%. It looks mint. Even just for a geeky sort of.
Dan, nobody can afford nods here. All right, we're poor. There's a cost of living crisis, don't you know?
I could adapt a couple of toilet rolls.
A couple of beer glasses, that'll do.
Yeah,
a couple of little green LEDs behind them.
So, in terms of your stall, what made you? Obviously, I know you've mentioned it a little bit already, but what made you sort of want to start that and obviously keep running it, etc.? What was
as I said, I mean, I used to be a retailer, so I used to sell everything anyway. All the stuff, all the guns, all the kit. I think anything I could get my hands on. If I could get tuppence, I would do. So, and I'd always had the accounts open, even when I stopped doing it for a while, and I got into oven cleaning because there was just no money in airsoft. There was just no money in airsoft kit, so as it ended up being an oven cleaner for a while. Best business decision in my life. But I kept the accounts open. And what I did when I got back, I was just running ideas in my head. I thought, should I do a stall? And I thought, well, no, because there's that much competition selling stuff, be it AliExpress. I know it's crap, but people still shop on it anyway.
Yeah.
eBay. retailers try to cut each other's nose off on Facebook and everything like that. There's too much competition, and I was just running ideas for me what I could do. And a good few years ago, I used to do raffles online, and they sold out within seconds. I was doing guns, rifles, everything you name it. I'd do a raffle for, and it did really well. So I didn't want to do a raffle again, and I know the legality through it all, and everything like it has to be done. When you do all like that, it has to be done on site at that particular day. You can't, unless you've got a gaming license, you can't do it online or anything like that anymore now. And I thought, well, a tombola. I've done like a tombola once before, years ago, like an Armed Forces Day, just to get rid of all my stock, basically. And it was really good. It did really well. So I got back in touch with suppliers. Even though I do sort of sell the kit still, I explain what I'm going to do. I says, I'm going to be doing tombolas. I'm not looking. I didn't want anything freebies. I didn't want nothing like that. I buy everything myself. I mean, I've had a few donations of people in the past, which is great. You know, I don't look a gift horse in the mouth, but I specifically said I don't want no freebies. I want to keep my account as open as they are. Just go along, pay as normal as a normal trader would anyway. So I buy all the stock myself, and I just started doing tombola. And like I say, I explained to the sites what I do, because even though I do sales, I said, what's stepping your toes, or what sell BBs, or what sell this, because it's their bread and butter as well. They've got to make to run the sites and everything like that. And everyone that said let's go along has been fantastic, and the players love it. And another reason why I said tombola, because it just that inner child in you.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun, isn't it? Like, oh, am I gonna win?
And they're addictive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, reminds me of a school fate. Like, oh,
even if you win a crappy £2 patch.
Yeah.
You know,
that's something, isn't it? Yeah.
You know, they think they beat the system. I'm not exactly Vegas, right? But you know what I mean. It's
you can get a little neon sign or something, make them pretend.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, I'm raffling. So I get all manners of airsoft prizes. Everything's all geared around airsoft. Vests, hard cases, pistols, sometimes rifles, depending on what I can afford. Charger units. Fast chargers, all that sort of anything. Because I've got all the supplies like your Combat UK, your Viper, your New Pro, and anything like that. So I get all anything like that, and I did it because it's just simple, such a simple idea, and easy to get the stall out, and just do that, and then I'm sat there, not in anyone's way. They want to come and have a crack, to do, and you know, and a lot of kids play it, but the adults are worse for it. They love it, you know.
Yeah, I had a few goes when you did the stall at the UCAL event.
Yeah, you know, and for £1 you could win a £100 pistol.
Exactly. So
you know
it's
what I mean.
Worth a go at the end of the day, isn't it?
Exactly, and and everyone loves the prizes, and Dirty Dog, they love it, you know. And Julia runs Dirty Dog; she thinks it's fantastic, but like I say, it was mainly because I didn't want to use charity money to pay, because I had to pay for my physiotherapy, which can cost up to £90 an hour if I go for spinal therapy, which I don't use that often, but I've got a sports therapist that I use all the time. It pays for my gym, it pays for any wheelchair equipment I need to buy, because that ain't cheap either. Even though the wheelchair I've got is from the NHS, but if I was to go out and buy my own wheelchair or anything like that, you don't get much change out of £4,000.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a pair of off-road wheels for my wheelchair.
I was going to say, it's the wheels and stuff to make it.
Yeah.
So you can go out on like all terrains and stuff as well, isn't it? So.
Exactly. You know, so, and I didn't want to rely on any charity, because my mindset is there's always someone worse off than me that needs charity more than me, and I've got the means to do something. So
that's a fair way of looking at it.
That's a positive outlook, yeah.
Well, I mean, everyone says I'm mad, and you know, charity's there for this. Well, it is, but you know, yes, I can't find a job that I want to do, so I use this. This helps pay for everything I need, and I just then that way. And I can't be accused of anything either. No one says, "Oh, you get given this."
Yeah, it's voluntary, isn't it? Yeah, if they want to donate, you can. If you don't, then don't.
So half of what I raise on the day goes back in towards stock, and then the other half goes towards pays for everything else that I need.
Yeah, That's fair.
And
it's not like you're forcing people. You're not like
no.
holding a literal gun to their head, like donate money.
And
I mean, you can.
oh, yeah. and the thing is, I get to meet everyone as well.
Yeah.
It's like you guys. I've known you on like Instagram and Facebook for years, but I've never actually met you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went down to Warzone and stuff, putting face. And granted, unfortunately, sometimes I'll meet people come to me, all right, Pav, we've known you since year dot, blah, blah, blah. But because a lot of people's profile pictures are a call sign picture or something else, you can't recognize them. Or
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, I've
and then
probably
you're
met
racking
loads of
your
people
brains
that
like,
think,
how do I know you?
oh,
do
well,
I
I
know
have
you?
no idea who you are. But then if you told me like your Instagram tag or something, I'd be like, oh, of course, like, hey, like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
That's it, innit? But so I get to meet everyone and talk to people about what's happened as well, and it opens up everyone's eyes up about things. And so
it's having those discussions, isn't it, to sort of try and put people in that mindset to think about these kinds of things, even if it's not happening to them. It's trying to help the people that are around them or are potentially, like you say, wanting to get into the sport, etc. Like just having that awareness to be able to help people.
Exactly. I mean, there was a young lad when not long after I left hospital. Actually, I was on internet all the time. I was on Facebook all the time talking about things, and a young lad reached out to me called Sam Hogan. He's from down south. I can't remember whereabouts, Midlands sort of area, I think he is. And he actually had almost identical issues as what I had, but before the operation and whatnot. But yet his disabilities was moving a lot faster than what mine did. And he was an airsoft player to begin with, and I think he was a bit worried about he'd have to lose getting out of airsoft and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's the community side as well, isn't it?
Yeah. And fortunately, I've talked to him round and back then, and I think he's still playing, not as much as what he did, but he's learned that it's not all the end of the world,
Yeah.
But like I say, and I get to meet people and speak to them about how things have happened, what's happened to me, because to look at me from a distance, you wouldn't think I'm disabled. You'll see me stood up, bending up the stall and this, that, and the other, or I might have a crutch outside of me, something like that, and a lot of people might think, is he really disabled? And, and all they've seen.
Not all disabilities are visible. And I think that's what people.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it?
That is it. Fortunately, I mean, apart from power the weight, other than that, you won't be able to tell anything's different about it if you know me from years ago, unless I sit back down in a wheelchair sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it educates people in a lot of things, like I say. And if some site owners that start to take things to account about how can we make it a little bit more accessible, just the simple things like, say, the toilets or anything like that.
Yeah.
Fantastic, you know what I mean? And like I say, I'm not saying they should, far from it, I'd never say.
But if you can.
Yeah, if you can.
And just take that, just have that in the back of your mind, just as a consideration, like, oh, I know it doesn't apply to me, but can it apply to other people who are disabled? Will it help them to come to my site or help them in general? At the end of the day, if you educate one site or one person, player, whatever, that's a bonus, isn't it? So
no, exactly. That's like been to a lot of sites, and they have asked me about things and stuff like that. But like I say, I accept how sites are, and like I say, I think the biggest issue is the toilet issue. You just wouldn't think about ordering in a disabled toilet or anything like that. But other than that, I like to say more sites that I've been to are accessible, and
for the most part,
at the Lincolnshire one, I spoke to him about it, and obviously he doesn't own the site. It's run by the activity centre. The one at Bridges was collapsed. He was getting that fixed. He was going to get this done and everything like that. And he asked me a bit of advice on how to do it. And I says, just make sure just wide enough for this, and it'll be great. And I mentioned to him about the toilets in there and what have you, because at the Lincolnshire one, them toilets, if you're in a wheelchair, you've got no chance at all, because you go into the building's there, so, and then it's stairs to get down, and it's only a little cubicle and stuff like that for the females or for the males area. So it's just passing, like I say, it's just passing on that information to people, and if they can just tweak a little bit and what have you. Because then the day,
sometimes it doesn't always have to be big, does it? It's just small things that can make it more accessible.
And especially for kids growing up, if they can get involved with airsoft, it then tells them, and the world isn't just small; it's a lot bigger than what it is, and I can get into further.
You've got me trying to think of sites now in my mind. Skirmish Lutterworth would be another good one, because that's all on one level. That's a woodland site, and they've got like a little. I suppose it's like a ditch that runs down the side of the site, but where you go into the safe zone, there's like literally like a flat bridge over the top of it.
But there you go, that's it, isn't it? It's just, see, like I say, you're now thinking, aren't you? Like,
and like Dan's come up with a good.
A new site, it'll be thinking like looking around, like, oh, is it accessible for people? Like, is it? Not that anybody would probably reach out to us, but just in general. I'm thinking, is there anything this site could do? Can we help? Can we make any suggestions?
Even if you and me went to a site and we went, oh, this site would be good for staff, or
Well, I've had a few people messaging me in the past, saying,
and then you can pass that information on to other people, and word gets out, doesn't it? So
I mean, I'm off to Skirmish Reading for the UCAL charity event this year.
Wickham, is it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they're Reading in it, so hopefully, I'll see what that's like.
Unfortunately, we're away, so we can't make it. It's difficult. We're away for this meetup, and we're away for the summer one as well.
Oh, bloody hell! Typical.
Waiting for another one. I keep booking holidays. Can't help it.
That's all right for some. But yeah, so it's, like I say, there's so many sites, isn't there? There's so many sites to get around. There's so many sites to see. But I'd love for other disabled people to get in touch with me and say this is where they play. Give these a shout. I play at this site. I do this. I do that. And then that way I can pass.
When people come to you, you can pass that information on and help somebody else. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I can't get to every single site around the country. It's impossible. Obviously cost factor and timings and everything like that. I think at the moment when it's on a Sunday, I think Warzones are probably the furthest one to go to on a Sunday.
Yeah, that's fair for you. Yeah.
2.5 hours. 2.5 hours away.
I mean, for us, it's 20 minutes up the road from where we are, so it's not so bad. But yeah, from where you are, it's quite a way. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I'd love people to get in touch and drop base with me and be on Facebook or Instagram, Callsign Wheels, and say, look, this is where we go, or my son's disabled, we take him to this place, or my daughter's disabled, and we take her here or there, this, that, and the other, and I get it out there just to get more people involved. And like I say, not just wheelchair users, but like I say, anyone with any disability whatsoever, because you might have anxiety issues, because I had a lot of anxiety issues when I first left hospital. I didn't want to go too far away from my house or anything like that for obvious issues.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's understandable.
If you even past sighted people, if it's a dark woodland, it might not be ideal for someone else. Or it could be, might not be great because obviously they don't tend to have lights on the inside or like that. But like I say, I base my reviews on my own personal experience, so I can't speak for someone who's past sight, or can't speak for someone who's got ADHD or anything like that, how you will cope with it. I just give out my experience and information and advice on that.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just seeing a friendly face as well. If you know that, or like someone that you've spoken to, like you say, even on Instagram, etc. If it's one of their local sites and like maybe you've checked it out and you think, oh yeah, that might be good. Seeing if they can come along as well, it's just helping sort of, not just for anxiety, but if there is anything that you might need a bit of help with, then they're there to be able to assist you. I guess.
Yeah, exactly. There's always, like I said, there's always someone there to help you, regardless. And
the majority of airsoft players, you ask them anything, they will do their best to help you. Yeah,
exactly.
As well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've not played for about a year. Say again.
They've got Emerson, he's the head marshal of the Grange, our local site. He says they've got a player that uses a mobility scooter that joins us on site. But defo giving me things to think about when I'm doing future builds, etc. on site.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's it. I think a lot of people have started to, since I've been talking to site owners and stuff like that. I think a lot of them are now maybe considering that a little bit, or at least the consideration is there. It's they're a bit more mindful about, like I said, the doorways. Is it wide enough? I mean, granted, some mobility scooters tanks these days, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen so many like bigger than a Challenger tank, some of them. But as long as a doorways is roughly around about 20 inches wide, chances are most wheelchairs will get through it, so to speak. But when you're building something out of a bit of plywood or anything like that, you think of it just wide enough to get through with what you get on.
Stuff like that, you are sort of custom building, as the sense maybe, because you can make it as wide, so it's just taking that into consideration, isn't it?
Yeah. Or even defences, a wall that a wheelchair can get behind.
Yeah.
You can just ride
or like
into
a couple that are maybe a bit lower, etc. So if you are in your wheelchair or sat down or whichever, then you can still sort of see round or over it. It's not just
you can
a
still
6 foot high fence that is useless. So
yeah. I mean, that's why I've got a sniper rifle as well, so I can just do snipering for a while.
Yeah, you can sit back a bit. Yeah.
Next month, I'm off to when I'm back to Halo Mill next month. It's quite a big event, so I'm hoping to get sniper on that one. That's a huge one with Novorich or something like that. So I'm hoping to get sniping on that and get a few kills and try not to get my eye shot out again.
That
I did see that one advertised. Actually, it's sellout, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sold out already, so that's going to be a big one.
Yeah.
So
speaking of sold out,
next month's going to be quite
private game twice
quite
now,
busy for me next
Yeah.
month. Hey.
We've sold our private game out twice. So if you didn't get a ticket, you're too late, I'm afraid.
That's it. But yeah, so this, like I say, hopefully this year I can get further afield, get to see more sites, meet more people, and just take it from there.
Yeah.
And like I say, I want people to reach out and just let me know.
Exactly.
Even site owners say, look, we do this, we do that.
Yeah. Come and try us, give it a go, see how you get on, sort of thing.
There are any site owners listening that your site is accessible for wheelchair and you would like Steph to come along and have a look or do his stall, etc., then I'm sure you can reach out to him at Callsign Wheels on Instagram. Is that everywhere?
Yeah, no,
Instagram is best for you? Or?
I mean, like I say, even if I can't get there,
just reach out.
They can tell me about it and just reach out. And then if anyone asks me, I can always say, right, we'll try this place.
Yeah.
Try there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So going back sort of full circle, back to the very beginning, what was it that got you into airsoft as a hobby?
In the first place.
As a hobby?
Or
money, in all honesty. I ran a business.
Yeah.
I actually ran an army surplus before I started playing.
Okay.
And like I said, I opened a shop in York back in 2010, I think it was. Bottom end of York, I took over an army surplus there. I'd had shops in Leeds and stuff like that. I've heard grumblings about when I had a shop in Leeds and people come up to me, a couple of Sterling players and stuff like that used to come up to me back then. But I still didn't really know what they're on about. I'd only known about paintball. So.
We don't talk about
but it was purely a business aspect for me, in all honesty. You know what I mean? Because I just saw it as another market. I didn't realise what sort of market it was or anything like that. And the two guys that came up, two brothers, they came up because they were right excited because I saw all this new kit hanging outside my shop and everything like that I'd not seen in York before. Obviously, they were seasoned airsoft players.
Yeah.
And it just grew from there. And they joined their team, and we used to go play at the what is it? What is it called now? What's that three-headed dog called in Greek mythology?
Oh,
Cerberus.
Cerberus.
So yeah, it used to be Cerberus site, and they used to have the old Earth Centre in Doncaster.
Okay.
Before it got ripped down and got built on, so used to go there to play there, and it just grew from there. And then went to a few other sites as a team, and it's.
I was going to say, I understand that reference.
Yeah, but I actually meant the dog, not what it's called in
You do know. I swear to God, I will kill you.
So, and that's where it grew from, and it just got addicted because I love getting shot at and shooting people.
I mean,
You know what I mean? It's like,
that's not something I
yeah, it's
want
like,
it, each to their own.
because I mean, obviously, I was in the army, and
Yeah.
when you're in the army, apart from when you're blank firing and stuff like that, you can't really shoot at each other because obviously, if you shoot each other with live rounds, you kill each other.
It's not going to end well.
But in airsoft, you can still do the arm thing, but a bit more Audie Murphy style and do whatever you want, so to speak, with reason. And I got hooked in it, and we played it for quite a few years as a team, and we was a really good team as well, to be fair, until things went south, and as they do sometimes with teams and whatnot, and it just grew from there, and I got a sense of community.
Yeah.
Back then,
that's what does it for a lot of people, isn't it? That the people they meet and friends they make through the sport are what makes it for a lot of people, and why they keep going.
Yeah, exactly. And it is, and that's what I love, and that's what I still love about airsoft is the sense of community. Even on the Facebook groups and stuff like that, you know what I mean. And you have your banter and whatnot. Yeah, you still get your numpties and whatnot, but you get that anyway, don't you? And stuff like that, and what have you. But generally, like I say, when you go to sites, you see the same faces. You all have a good crack. Take the rip out of each other, and that's it. Especially if they're ex-forces as well, it's it gets even worse. We just take the piss out of each other with your own ex-forces. Yeah, and but the fact that the kids are involved as well. I mean, I got my kids involved for a while. They enjoyed playing it. My daughter and my son and whatnot, and they played as a little team. But what I also love about it as well is women playing airsoft. And I tell you what, the lasses playing airsoft, 9 times out of 10 are better than the fellas. But unfortunately, they play like they've got something to prove, which don't. They don't have all to prove because, at the end of the day, we're all in the same thing. And they're brilliant just to watch them play and everything like that. And the way they are, they're a lot more professional, I think. I
think they're a lot more level-headed. Like, as much as I don't want to admit it, you don't often see a girl getting annoyed that you're overshooting them or you're not taking your hits, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the lads tend to be a little more kiddish.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They do throw the toys out the pram sometimes. But yeah, but it's good to see the competition between each other and everything like that. And like I said, the guy that shot me in my eye, he hated himself for ages for after that, and I still take the mick out of him now.
It could have been anyone, though.
Absolutely,
it could have been
anyone.
Pure accident.
Yeah. That was like me last weekend. I sort of snapshotted somebody from behind a barricade, and it was one of the girls that was there. I felt awful for it. But I felt awful for it, whether it was a guy, whether it was a girl, etc. And I caught her going back into the game. I said, "Sorry, that was me." Shook her hand, sort of thing. Said, like, "I didn't mean to get you in the face, but that's all I could see." And she was like, absolutely sound.
Yeah, I don't feel guilty at all, me. I'm like, you paid your money.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless it was really kind of drawn blood and everything like that.
Yeah. It's like I can imagine you just like Adam the other weekend we were at the jail and he was using his MTW and I could just hear him. I was stood behind him and he's giggling away to himself like
it's just
it's what we do. And end of the day, we actually pay us money to shoot people and to get shot
and to have a good time. Yeah,
that's the bare bones of it, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we're still running around with toy guns, essentially, and a lot of people tend to forget that, unfortunately.
They do, they think the guns are the real thing sometimes, and I'm like, it's just a toy.
Quite, but
it's a game.
But I do stick it to myself when I see some people how they dress up and everything like that. I'm like, really?
Yeah,
but that's my own personal opinion. But I'll let everyone dress how they want. You've got
I'm not particularly coordinated. Like some people they look great. Like they're all matching. They've got everything. They've got the like OG loadout, everything.
They literally
I'm there in like jeans and a hoodie. Like, here you go. Here I am.
I do laugh though when someone's got a like £550 worth of clothing on, and they step around the puddle so they don't get dirty.
Yeah, I'm just like, wear something you don't care about is my suggestion.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
when I used to play
even
proper, I used to play
contemplate
shorts
spending
and t-shirts.
hundreds on kit because I know it's going to get ruined. So
Yeah.
Well, like I said, when I used to play, even though I used to sell all the gear, I'm like, no, I'm too tight for that. I'll just wear my shorts, my
I can tell you're
t-shirt,
from the north.
trousers on. You know what I mean? And like, that's how I played. You know what I mean? And like, I am not shelling out for money just to get dirty on clothing or anything like that. So
Yeah,
100%. My skin is easy enough.
This is the thing, and for new players as well. If anybody's listening, that's like a new player, etc. I wouldn't waste your money, like unless you've literally got money to burn. Just wear something you don't care about.
If you want camo, go get some like
to be honest.
army surplus.
Army surplus as well, yeah.
Cheap.
Quite cheap.
You don't need to spend a lot of money in airsoft. Even
it's
on the
personal
guns.
choice, isn't it? You don't have to.
Yeah.
You can, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
But even on the guns, you have to spend a lot of money. You know, I've had a cheap Sportline rifle in the past. I probably spent about £150 for, and it's lasted years. It's been brilliant. You know, and then other times I've spent money on something. It's lasted weeks or months or something. You know, it's a good sport where you can just spend as little as you want to still have the same level of fun.
Anything goes.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Because end of the day, you're still going to get hit, regardless. You know, no matter how good your gear is.
You step on that playing field, we're all equals. So
yeah, exactly. You know, I've played with Royal Marines and everything like that. I think, you know, because they've done all this army training, all that goes out the window when it comes to airsoft.
Yeah.
Because you've got a little 12-year-old kid running around with a little
HPA pistol,
with a little Springer shotgun that takes you out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you've had millions spent on your army
training. We're all shooting little bits of plastic at each other at the end of the
day.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so, and well, I say it is a level playing field. You know what I mean? And but yeah, it's but that's it. That's why I love it, and that's what got me. That's what got me hooked, and I'm still hooked now. You know, and but it's that community spirit that's helped me these past few years, and look where I am now. Talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I think that naturally brings us to our conclusion.
Yeah.
And I know we said sort of pre-show before we went live, I can't see this sort of being more than like going to the full hour sort of thing.
More, but
we were worried because we got nothing to talk about news-wise.
You see me on my stall. I can talk for Britain when I want to.
I'm not complaining. But yeah, when you haven't got any news to talk about and you think, okay, we'll just go straight into it then.
No, it's been really good having you on. Like, we really appreciate you
it's
coming
been
on
awesome.
and being able to talk about these kind of things.
Thanks for the invite. And like I say, anytime, just give me a shout. You know what I mean? And then just obviously, depending if life gets in the way,
of course,
your kids in the gym and stuff like that. But yeah, just give me a shout.
I think Emerson said somewhere in the comments that he was going to drop you a message tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
So I've seen it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Brilliant. Yeah, and
that's awesome. So where can
anybody wants
people? Where can they find
you?
Well, next week I'm taking this weekend off. But next week I'm going to be at Lincolnshire Airsoft at Elsham, or Lincolnshire Airsofters, because there's two Lincolnshire Airsofts, I think. But this is Lincolnshire Airsofters. I'm there next week at Elsham. Weekend after that, yet to organise it, but hopefully, possibly Warzone or maybe Phoenix, because I've got Phoenix quite a lot as well. Weekend after that, I'm at the big Halo Mill game with Novrich. He's coming down. He's a sniper. Is he a sniper?
Yeah.
I'm not up with these.
Not that with
I know the brand, but I actually didn't know it was an actual person.
So what about social media then? Where can people find you on
social media? Callsign Wheels on Instagram.
Yeah.
Callsign Wheels on my page on Facebook, and also got my profile Stefan Operator on my Facebook as well. I've got a couple of different Facebook pages, but one for Airsoft is Stefan Operator. You'll see me. I'm in my wheelchair holding my rifle. But yeah, Instagram's probably the best one, and on my Callsign Wheels page on Facebook would be the best one. But like I say, anyone has got any info about any sites
or any questions as well that might be able to help, or might be able to help with, reach out.
I can't get to every single site out there, and if they say they have X amount of wheelchair users or anyone with any disabilities that come to them, if they can pass me any info about it, I can get it on the page. Send me any details. I'll post it all over the pages on social media to try and get more people with any sort of disability, not just wheelchair users, any disability whatsoever, to get involved.
It's all about inclusivity. Brilliant.
Absolutely, and everybody knows where they can.
You should know by now.
Find me and
Ailey. Find us at the Chairsofter Show on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, all of the social medias. Basically, the Chairsofter Show.
All of them.
You can email Andy at thechairsoftershow.co.uk, or you can find Adam on Instagram.
Yeah. At GT_.02 Sierra Golf.
My Instagram tag is here, but it's at GT_06.mini.
What does GT stand for?
Gunfighter Tactical, that's our team.
Right.
You can also find our team, Gunfighter.tactical, on Instagram.
There's something new every day.
Find us anywhere. You'll find
us. Cheers for that, guys. I appreciate it. Anyway.
Thank you for coming on. Stay safe, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't be a dick, and we'll catch you next time.
Call your hits.